What's up, YouTube? Jet Fuel EDC here, and happy Friday to you. We got a knife to check out. So, this, my friends, is the Isham Bladeworks Blackstar. Designed and produced by Elijah Isham. You might know him from some other knives he's done, the Megatherium, the Mini Therium, Theta. He's got all kinds of them. He's done some pretty cool stuff. Always seems to have like a cutting edge, really futuristic look to each one of his knives. Then you have this. It's kind of out of the ordinary. Not quite sure what he was doing here. I will say I didn't like this knife at first. I kind of condemned it, put it in a drawer, and didn't look at it again for a month. I got it out the other day and decided I'm gonna give it a chance. It's not too bad of a knife. Let's get into it. So as you can see, well, let's do the boxing. We're gonna try something a little different here. Bring up the boxing. So you got this ginormous box right here for this. When you see that, you're like, oh wow, maybe I got some goodies. So you crack this thing open. Got a nice little pouch. Once again, huge. And there's nothing in it. No authenticity card, no business card, no stickers, nothing. Just, hey, here's a pouch to store your knife in. Still, not a bad gesture. I always appreciate these pouches. You can use them for other knives. So, what we have here is you have G10 scales, or G10 handles, I'm sorry, with this really nice carbon fiber inlay on it. That's a nice touch. This knife, just G10, is boring. I wanted the black version of this. The black version looks very nice. I'm not opposed to the green. I like the green, but the black version just looks that much better. It really does. It's a great looking knife. I mean, pretty cool little design. Just very nice how they inlaid that carbon fiber. Just a very nice touch. So, as you can see, you got this little lanyard pocket right here. If you wanted to put a lanyard on, I'm gonna put a lanyard on this. I'm gonna get me a decent bead and a lanyard, and we're gonna put a lanyard on it. You got a titanium milled out pocket clip here. You got, as you can see, you got a nail nick, or you got this integral, they call it an integral flipper tab, which is pretty nice. I mean, it's got a nice little decent action. I got tape on the blade. This has been the box cutter of the week. It has a pretty nice little action. As you can see, it's a slip joint, and it's got like a two-way detent system, kind of like you got to have so much to break it out of there. You can feel the ramp. You can watch it fall in there, and then you also, it locks in place up here at the top, kind of like that. So it's pretty neat design. It when I first got this knife, right out of the box, it did not flip very well. I put a little KPL on it, and that seems to have cleaned it up. I took this knife apart the other day and cleaned it up even more. Cleaned up the washers. The washers were a little grimy, and it's running really smooth. It's got really small phosphorus bronze washers that it runs on, and the action on it is pretty dialed in. It's not the most comfortable thing on your finger, but it is. You catch yourself fidgeting with it. So like I was saying, it is a slip joint. You can see there's nothing holding it in, but it locks in place pretty well. Obviously, if you were to tap the back of it, it'll get you. It got me. You can kind of see it right there. It got me the other day. Luckily, it wasn't too bad. I used this knife the other night on a block of Gouda, and a block of Gouda and a log of summer sausage, and it performed really well. Yep, got off on a tangent there. Apologize for that. So it is a clip point blade, or Bowie style, however you want to look at it. You got a nice little nail nick there. You got the Isham crest, or Isham Bladeworks logo. This is one of my favorite steels, and I love how they tagged it here. They didn't make it tacky or nothing, put it over here. They did a small logo here, and then they put right there, M390 Bowler Steel. I mean, they didn't put Bowler, but it's, get the light off of it a little bit. There you go, M390. This is, without a doubt, my favorite steel. I love that blade steel. I don't know what it is about it, but it's me. Your centering on this guy is dead on, perfect. I took this knife apart and I put it back together the way it was presented to me. So with all that, let's get a little length on it. As you can look at it, you got a closed length of just shy of 3.25, 3¼ inches. You run off that flipper tab, it's almost there, just about there, but not quite. You got an overall length of 5 3/4 out to the point of the blade there. The blade itself, just over 2.5. I mean, it's about probably 2.6, somewhere in there. It's halfway between the 1/2 and 3/4 mark. The cutting edge on it is going to be, looks like just shy of 2.5, about really close. I mean, it's right at it. Let's see, let's get the calipers out here, do a little measuring. As you can see there, you got 0.126 on the blade profile. And then the thickest part of the handle, as you can see, is 0.443. 443. If that was 4.43, that'd be a monster. It'd be like holding a baseball bat. Yeah. Let's get a little weight on it. Man, I'm all over the place tonight. I don't know where my head's at. Off doing other things. Oh, so I have some of you guys on Facebook, some of you guys not, but I'm gonna let you in on a little piece of personal information. So yesterday, me and my wife were expecting. We got the details yesterday, and Blue, it's a boy. So I don't know. Maybe I got my head other places. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. I already have a little girl, and got the boy now, and we can stop. But anyways, back to the knife review. Apologize, I'm kind of all over the place tonight. Your weight, 1.3 ounces and 39 grams. So, with all the details there, let's get into some likes and dislikes. Absolutely 100% positively, my favorite like about this knife is it's made in M390 steel. I love that blade shape. I've never really been crazy for like the Bowie style clip point blades, but these freaking things cut. It is so amazing. It really does cut. It cuts so good. It is scary sharp. It really does. It's a performer. This thing, it's nice. It's a nice knife. Another thing would have to be the looks of it. The body of it, the way it's beveled, it's contoured. It for a small knife, it fits pretty good in the hand, as you can see. I got my fourth fingers kind of falling off there, but when I put a lanyard on it, it's gonna wrap me in. Obviously, you're not gonna want to put your finger back there. You're gonna want to stay clear of that as you do that, and as you can see, they did a great job with that carbon fiber, the inlay on it. It pops. It really sets the knife off. It really completes it. So my dislikes about the knife, I kind of wish they would have did it a little bit bigger. Maybe put this thing about a 3¼ inch blade, somewhere in there, and maybe added 1/2 inch on the handle, and that would have it would have been pretty nice right there. I mean, almost perfect. I wish that I know, obviously I know Elijah Isham's not gonna see this, but I wish that there were more people out there that would ask for this knife just a little bit bigger. Make this the mini Blackstar, and you make a big Blackstar. I don't know, whatever. I think they did a bigger version that would be perfect. The next thing would have to be the price. The price is astronomical. I didn't do my due diligence when I bought this knife. I didn't read all the details and everything. It was pre-ordered. I watched a couple videos on YouTube about it, and I was already kind of fanboy crazy. I was like, you know, Elijah Isham puts out good stuff. You know, I think it's gonna be a good knife, and I didn't pay attention to the size of it. With that being said, I paid $168. Right now, this knife goes for $150. Still too high. It really is. It's still too high. You got G10 handles. You got M390 steel, phosphorus bronze washers, carbon fiber. Where's the money? The dislikes, I don't know. It's kind of a double-edged sword with the action. Sometimes, like tonight, I'm loving it because I haven't messed up a flip yet. It's went every time. We haven't jet fueled it up tonight, and I'm really this knife's it's performing on stage. I'm loving it. But It is, if you don't have a fingernail, it's kind of hard to do it. Now, if I were to push this down on my finger with just the pad of my finger, it's not gonna flip. So I catch it with my fingernail and it flies right out. You kind of gotta preload that detent just a little bit, and then it rockets out. You catch yourself doing it over and over and over again, and it can be painful, but it has that kind of funness when it does flip out of there, and you're like, oh, that was kind of cool. And then you don't have to engage a lock bar or disengage a lock bar. You don't have to mess with a lock or nothing. You just fold it right back over. So it does have that little fidget friendly factor. And then again, you know, the action is it's not superb. It really isn't. Out of the box, you know, I had to add the KPL to it, and I got it, you know, kind of dialed in, took it apart, cleaned it up. It's running very nicely right now, and it's performing for you guys. With that being said, I'm gonna add a new thing to my videos. I'm sure this thing's already running over, but this will just take a second. The next part of my video will be what I recommend this. So this knife, I would not recommend it. It is very expensive for what you get. It really is. I would not recommend this knife. For $150, you could go out and you could get so much more of a knife. You could get a Para 3, a Paramilitary 2. You know, there's just so much out there on the market. And I'm not playing favorites. I'm not saying those are my favorites or anything. You could get a Griptilian. I mean, I could just keep going. For $150, you could get a lot of knives. A lot of knives. Kaisers, just on and on and on. So with that being said, if I had this to do all over again, I wouldn't have bought this. I would have definitely searched it out on the the secondary market, and I would have got it that way. And I would have got it a little bit cheaper, you know, $120 range. You know, you put this knife $80, $90, that's the perfect price for it. It was great. But I don't make and sell knives, so I don't know all that. I buy them, and sometimes I foolishly buy them. So this one I foolishly bought. So that's all I got for you guys tonight. As always, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.